There's a pressure that a lot of people carry, especially those people who see themselves as being dependable. See, you feel like you have to be the steady one, the one who always calms every storm, the one that holds it all together no matter what. And I've noticed men feel this, women feel this, high achievers feel this. Just anyone who takes care of other people and other things feel this. That pressure teaches you to stay composed even when you're exhausted. And after a while, you start believing that strength means that you never slow down, means that you never ask for help and never crack under any circumstances. But here's the truth: you can be responsible and still be human. You can lead and still need a moment to take a breath. You can carry a lot of things and not carry it alone. Welcome back, guys, to the Emmanuel Dr. EG3 podcast. I'm your host, Emmanuel George, but most folks around here just call me Dr. EG3. This is a place where we talk about life, I talk about growth, and I talk about you becoming the version of you that you were always intended to be. See, not the version that the world tries to shape you, but the one that you were meant to live, be, and breathe in. See, I try to keep it honest around here. I try to keep it a little grounded, have a little fun, and focus on helping you to rise higher, live clearer, and stand fully in the life you're building. Now, let's get to today's message about this idea of you being a strong one. See, I remember not too far back, I can tell you every time it seems like I have a vacation or something scheduled at work, it feels like a lot always happens and lands right at the same time. The work deadlines, the projects, the OSCEs, teaching, working with my coaching clients, and then the home stuff, showing up for and supporting my wife, being present for my girls. It's nothing dramatic, just life at full speed. And as always, I handled it. I met all the deadlines. I checked all the boxes. I showed up in the meetings. I kept the machine and the grind moving. But underneath the composure, I could truly feel the weight. And one night, I remember my wife had already gone to the bedroom to lay down, had already put the girls down and had talked to them, and they were now in their beds. And I remember coming downstairs and I was just sitting on the edge of the couch right before I jumped into watching the TikToks. And I remember just staring at the carpet. I wasn't upset. I wasn't spiraling. But I could feel myself just having this sense of tiredness that wasn't about sleep. It was the kind of tiredness that comes from just staying strong, holding it together. I don't want to say too long, but holding it together without really taking a break and coming up for air. And in that moment, I realized something important. See, I wasn't struggling because I was weak or couldn't handle it. I had this realization that I was just stretched because I was holding it all together quietly. I was carrying all those roles, juggling all the balls with no pause. And many of us do this quite often. See, I've worked with some men and they do it because they think being strong means staying silent. I've seen women do it because they are expected to hold it together emotionally, mentally, and physically for everyone that's around them. High achievers do it because, see, we pride ourselves on not dropping anything, keeping it all together, keeping the poise. But here's what clicked for me that night. My responsibilities, they were still mine. I still had to take care of them. My family still needed me. My students still needed me. The work that I was doing still mattered. See, I wasn't choosing between being strong or being cared for. What I needed was an internal recognition and give myself permission to just recognize where I was. And see, that simple shift, me acknowledging the state that I was in, brought me back into alignment. I didn't become weaker. I became clearer as to where I was, what I needed. And that clarity helped me carry my responsibilities with more steadiness. Because sometimes I think we just go, and moving forward onto the next thing without recognizing where we are and what we need. And see, by me having that clearer alignment, I understood how I needed to move forward and what I needed to move forward. So let's talk about what this means for you. Because if you're listening to this today, there's a good chance that you know exactly what that silent pressure feels like. You know how it feels to be the backbone for everyone while quietly holding your own weight. So let's unpack how to stay strong without losing yourself in the process. So number one, being strong doesn't require you to not be human. See, somewhere along the way, many of us learned that strength means silence. You tell yourself to keep going, keep showing up, keep holding it down because people around you need you and they're counting on you. But see, strength has room for truth as well. You can say, even if it's on the inside to yourself, you can say, I'm carrying a lot right now. You can say, I need a minute to breathe. You can say, I'm not 100% today, but I know I still got to move forward. See, telling yourself the truth doesn't make you unreliable. It makes you real. And real strength can breathe and take a beat when you need it. When you let yourself just be a human being, you free yourself from this weight of pretending like you have it all together. Number two, you do not have to carry every role you have at 100% or full volume. I guess that's a better way to put it. See, life has a tendency of giving us many roles. And many times you got to carry them all at the same time. You might be a partner, a parent, a leader, professional, support system, problem solver. Those adjectives can continue. And most of us try to run every one of those roles at maximum setting, highest volume, fullest percentage. But everything doesn't need to be on high all of the time. You're constantly adjusting. At what level do you need to be at those roles? And sometimes the strongest thing that you can do is learn how to scale one role down for a moment so that you can show up fully in other areas that matter more to you in the present. See, you're not abandoning anything. You're not choosing between the two. I've told people this before. We have a tendency of trying to put in a or when we need to learn to put in ands. And guess what? If you're a full-time student, it can be difficult at times to be a full-time, partner. Or the other way around. If you're a full-time partner, it's hard to be a student. But you're not choosing between the two. You have to learn to recognize and manage your own capacity to be able to do both. And this is how you stay responsible without burning out. Because I can tell you for myself, I am a husband, I am a father, I am a coach, I am a teacher, but my capacity changes depending on what's a priority. So when I'm on the stage teaching or delivering a keynote, I still am a parent, but the volume on that parenting side is a little lower than it is to be an influencer, a teacher, a coach. And again, that's not irresponsible. You can be both. You just have to have the wisdom to know when to turn the volume up and when to turn the volume down. Number three, asking for help protects your strength. See, many people avoid asking for help because they think that's a sign and signal of weakness. But asking for help is a strategy. See, responsibility still matters. Your words still matter, but support multiplies your strength instead of draining it. Because again, as in the previous one, you learn to turn the volume up and down. But when you let people in to support you, you don't lose control. You gain some capacity and margin allows you to recover. It gives you room to breathe, room to show up with intention instead of just being in survival mode, running on fumes. See, strong people ask for what they need. See, when you feel insecure or feel that there's a weakness or insecurity, you try to hide that. Strength communicates to other people. So like you heard me mention, being able to turn the volume up or down. Guess what? I know when I have a lot going on, or my wife has a lot going on, we've learned how to ask for help to provide support. Or if I have a lot going on at work, I know the colleagues that I can reach out to and ask for help. Or how about this? Just something simple. Got a lot of cleaning to do on the Saturday afternoons, and guess what? I ask for help with everyone. Hey, girls, can you clean your room? Can you start your laundry? Separate your clothes? Wipe down the mirrors while I'm over here scrubbing the stove from cleaning up or doing dishes. Number 4, rest is not an escape from your responsibility. See, a lot of people, especially in this high grind, hustle culture, a lot of people think rest is optional or something that you have to earn only after everything else is completed. But you can't lead from depletion. You can't lead with like almost an empty tank. You can't parent from exhaustion. You cannot create from depletion. Well, let me change it. Y'all grown. Y'all could do all those things on depletion and empty. You just may not be your best at it. And I want to remind you, rest is not a luxury. It's what you need. It's maintenance. It's necessary. Rest is how you protect your non-negotiables. Rest is how you keep your commitment strong, your word what it needs to be. Rest is what keeps you from resenting the people and the responsibilities that you love. Because, you need to have that reset. And lastly, number 5, letting others in actually builds connection. So you might tell yourself that leaning on people feels like a burden. How many times have we done that, right? Well, I don't want to ask them because they're busy and they have a lot going on. Well, what I'll tell you is by you making that statement and making that assumption and making that a decision, you're making a decision for someone else. By saying, I'm not going to ask because they're busy, you've made the decision that they're too busy. You've made the decision and removed their ability of choice to be able to support and help you. Because I would imagine the people that you think about that could help you, I'm sure they're probably willing. I'm sure that they would want to support you, but you've robbed them of the opportunity to do that by making that decision. So again, you might tell yourself it's a burden. I don't want to bother people. They have their thing going on. But I can tell you that connection of you asking for help and support grows through shared weight, shared truth, shared space. Letting people support you does not mean you expect them to carry everything. It just means you trust them enough to help lighten your burden. And I'm pretty sure they would do the same thing for you and you would do the same thing from them. See, when you let people in, it builds stronger relationships. It builds deeper friendships. It strengthens your family. It helps your kids see that you're a full human being who deals and struggles with things. Not just this exhausted, worn out, burnt down superhero who never needs anything. So here's your challenge for this week. I want you to identify one place where you've been overextending yourself. One role where you've been powering through just because it feels easier than slowing down. And I want you to do one thing that'll help you lighten the load. Now, that might be ask the truth as to where you are right now. You might even have to say no to some things. Whew, that's scary, right? Telling people no. Or you just might need to take a pause. Give yourself some space that allows you to truly assess, recognize where you are so that you can figure out what is it that you need to lighten the load. And I want to remind you, you're not abandoning responsibility by doing this. You're actually learning to carry all these responsibilities wisely. See, strength is not measured by how much you can carry in silence. Strength is measured by how well you live while carrying all of your responsibilities, by how honestly you show up for yourself, by how willing you are to let other people who love you, who care for you, who want to be with you, allowing them to stand with you. So I'm encouraging you as I close, give yourself that room. You deserve it. And as always, guys, I love you much.